So I'll be making a video here on warrior runes, and I'm going to be rank ordering them in tier list. S is just going to be the most powerful runes, the most fun. It's going to be runes that have everything going for it. A will be powerful runes. B will be fun runes, approximately. And it's kind of like a nice little scale downwards. C will be like, this rune needs to have some problems, kind of weak, not very fun. And F is F is a failure of design. This is where I think Blizzard should step in and change something about the rune. Sometimes S runes need to get changed as well. There's something wrong with them being too powerful. But F means that no one's ever going to use it because it's bad. We'll start with this one. So this one is very fun. It enables Overpower. It kind of takes away the niche spellcasting of Overpower, being kind of fun to use when you get a dodge or a parry, or excuse me, yeah, just a dodge. Yeah. So it's a little bit lame. It's a Wrath of the Lich King ability, very powerful. People use it playing Arms and Fury. You don't have to, but that's the standard kind of thing. Now it's not S tier because it's not broken. It just lets you use Overpower. It's not that good. C tier. So Thunderclap. I used this ability to tank Blackrock Depths. It lets you hold aggro on mobs against like healer threat, but you can't. It doesn't hold aggro against like a rogue single targeting like one of the hounds. He's still gonna pull aggro on it. But you just spam Thunderclap. Like it's like the only ability you cast. It's okay. So this could use like a small buff. Maybe not through this rune, because this rune is already fat. Doubling the damage of Thunderclap, increasing his threat by 50%, so it's double threat, double damage, and it's just like... And it makes it a slow better. This rune is already really heavy, so maybe another rune to affect warrior AoE threat would be cool. Not that they necessarily need it. It may be okay to accept warriors as a less of an AoE tank. They're probably the best at tanking two targets, given cleave in a raid scenario. But this would be 4 targets. That'd be cool. What is this? I forgot. Blood Frenzy. You just don't use it because this ability is overpowered. This ability gives you 30 seconds out of every minute of 25% bonus damage. And 3 rage, dude. Like, this is never gonna see play. It's really bad. If this wasn't the talent, you'd have deep wounds and rend on the target. This would give like, I don't know, like 2 rage a second kind of thing. That's pretty good. But it's pretty bad. Raging Blow. Ferocious strike that deals weapon damage. Can only be used while enraged. Enraged, you're pretty much always enraged. I think, depending on what you're doing. This would be PvP only, really. This one. So when you crit, you're enraged. So you're always enraged. So you could use this all the time. You don't because Flagellation is better. I'm getting close to being global capped with these 4 skills here as arms. As Fury, Flagellation's way better. If Flagellation wasn't overpowered, let me just get that out of the way here. If Flagellation wasn't overpowered, you could use it in Fury. Right now, Fury doesn't even take Bloodthirst. It's so weird, the fucking simulation builds. Making a build that doesn't use Bloodthirst because Deep Wounds is OP. It's so fucking whack is this one. So Fury would be close to global cap as well. People are using Hamstring as filler for Wind Fury procs. So if they got rid of Flagellation, you'd probably use Raging Blow actually. Probably. So Blood Surge. Heroic Strike, Bloodthirst, so those are the keystone build, or the tippity top of the talent tree there. And Whirlwind. So Whirlwind hits many targets, so you get more often getting a Bloodthirst from that. Or a slam from that. I think this is better if you use like a flurry axe in your main hand. You have a very fast main hand weapon, many heroic strikes. This will give you more than precise timing. Oh, no rage cost. That's actually kind of big too. That's kind of nice. Lower that a bit. So I think it's better than precise timing. Not for Fury, or not for arms rather. This one's going to be better for arms. The consistency on arms is needed. Focused Rage. This is like better for PvP than anything else, but like wouldn't you just take precise timing in PvP? If you did like some shield slam build, you would want this for Sunder Armors, pressing Sunder Armor, because then you could get -3, -6, get Sunder Armor down to 9 rage, get shield slam with this one, get some free shield slam procs. Like it's like really low rage costs, which lets you wear the shield all the time, and you're okay with it. So there's like but shield slam's not good enough. It doesn't hit hard enough, and the utility you get from this tree doesn't do anything.
Not enough rage.
The tankiness you get from shield, it's like you're dying to wizards mostly in PvP. Oh, what talent was that? Fuck, I got lost. Oh yeah, I was looking at Focus Rage. It's a little too niche for prot. It doesn't need a buff, but it's just out of place right now. It's okay though. I'm okay with this entire tree here of waste slot. It's pretty. I'm happy with it. Victory Rush, absolutely S tier. This ability lets you farm solo. So I have Bisgear, so I can kill skeletons in Western Plaguelands by myself, and I don't eat food. I never have to eat food. I can kill 2 or 3 skeletons and just keep on going. Now that's, as a warrior, that's a big thing. Now all the other classes, like, they're just like, oh, yeah, really? You can kill normal mobs by yourself? Nobody cares. But that is a checkpoint. That is a benchmark for warrior. You can brag. Bro, I can solo farm with warrior now. I'm actually going to do that. See that? Ardent Dawn. I'm going to kill 1,000,000 zombies by myself. Now we got Endless Rage. I take this with a 2-hander. This is an option, but I think it costs too much rage, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 20 rage. So it says that ability benefits from triggers all. So you can heroic strike with this.
Need more rage.
I don't know, dude. I think this is a low-level rune. It's designed to give warriors an ability like Mortal Strike or Bloodthirst to press while they're leveling. Assuming you don't want to take Victory Rush, whatever. So you get Quick Strike, gives you that weapon hit, and fills the problem of warrior being an incomplete class until level 40. So on that regard, I'm going to say A tier in design, even though you never use it once you get your other skills. Single-Minded Fury. It's the rune you use for dual wielding. While dual wielding, your physical damage is increased by 10%. I think some of the Fury Warriors, depending on your gear, there may be a Endless Rage may be better depending on your gear. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that before. It's just safe to take this one, right? Hit 10% harder, hit the mob harder, get more rage, because dealing higher damage gives more rage. So it's like 25%, right? 10% damage though. It's damage, right? Does this 15% extra rage from in comparison make up for the 10% damage loss? Probably not. Rallying Cry. This gives Warrior very specific utility in a raid. This spell is insane. Party and raid members, 15% max health. If this ability is overpowered at some point, they may change it to party, I would say. But I don't think they will. It's not too. It's like using a health potion on the entire raid. It's kind of good. Now they put shit. They put some fun stuff on this one. They give you Enrage Regen, the PvP talent to get away from bad situations, and then they give you the meme talent here, Gladiator Stance. Dude, they did this stance. I do not foresee Blizzard making something that isn't like just abused and made retarded, and I will explain that later when we get to it. All right. No R word. R word is bad. So this ability is just strong. It's not that cool though. Rampage. Warrior goes on a rampage, increasing attack power by 10% at 5 stacks. Only could use it after you crit. I don't know. Increases the critical strike damage of all your attacks by 10%. So there's a break point where this one is better at low gear. This one is better at high gear. But I feel like it just jumps. Whoa. Easier to use, better. Wreck crew, bam. People are not going to use Rampage much. Kind of weak. I guess on like maybe on Gar, super high armor, if he has high armor, maybe I'm making that shit up. I don't really know that. Like higher armor targets, this would be better, but just use minus armor, bro. So that's going to go here, the sad talents. Okay, we got another Wrath of the Lich King ability, Sword and Board, a possible tanking ability, possible DPS ability with Shield Slam, block value damage, block value gear, who knows. Wrecking Crew, not impressive. Giving Warrior more critical strike damage is fucking debatable. Critting for 230% damage. I don't know, dude. I don't know if that's a good idea. You really want Warriors to be that good? They're gonna use it. They're gonna use it. It's not great design. It's not too overpowered. Because it doesn't work on normal hits, right? Frenzied Assault. Not a great design, super overpowered. If you use two-handers, you use this, 20% attack speed. It makes your global cooldown pressing more smooth, makes execute phase more smooth if you don't weapon swap. This is 10% damage. This is 20% attack speed. It's better for two-handers. S tier intervene for PvP, S tier, but it doesn't really have much of an application. In raids, there isn't a fight. Well, I guess on particularly Shade of Aranicus, charging to the ranged people in the pools, the sleep pools. This may be nice, right? I never thought of that, but I'm not going to be using it because of this. So now we have shield mastery. So this lets you have half duration on disarm, so you don't have to use a weapon chain as a shield boy. And not having taste. So this is a very rage efficient damage. Put rend on the target, so classes can't stealth. Keeps them in combat. It ticks away powered shields and frost barriers, mana shields, and it gives you a 5 rage spell that auto crits, right? Because of this talent, 50% crit chance. So having an auto crit at low rage to like kill shields and just do a little bit of damage when you're rage starved, really powerful. So that's cool too. I just wanted to mention that. Maybe that bumps it up a bit. Maybe it puts it into A. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it at B. Alright, so shield mastery, you use this when dealing damage with shields. So now it's time for me to explain the gladiator stance. Holy shit, the fucking bell's going off, man. Clock strikes 11. Every hour it goes off. Holy shit. So this ability is like uninspired, but if you want to use a shield and deal, like, this is for tanking. Okay, gladiator stance, B as well. I haven't used this enough to believe, like, it's just like warrior is fun because of the stance dancing. To just remove all of that, you just never leave this stance, and that's the idea. It's kind of lame. Now in PvP, sometimes you do this because you're dying. So you want to increase your armor by switching into one of these stances, decrease your damage taken by 10%. So you can see you toggling between these two. PvP, more damage, less damage, more damage, less damage, and it's about that. If you took, this may be a mistake, just saying. If you took gladiator stance, you could talent and get rid of these 5 points. So if you're sword spec, get rid of this, you get 6 talent points, right? It means you get to fill up Unbridled Wrath, or this one, or this one. I guess these two. But it's like plus 5 talent points. It's not that good. If you never switch talents, it's alright, yes. So I've seen in Warcraft logs, people are ending the fight with a shield on. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is this a bug in Warcraft logs? It's just showing people with random shields equipped. But people are wearing shields of the tiger, shields of the bear, whatever, for just a little bit more stats, so that they can benefit from 10% damage here, 10% damage here, and they press execute. They press execute with a faster one-hander. I don't have a faster one-hander. So use like a Hanzo sword or something like that, so that you get rage on for every global, and you're just executing every global with 20% damage, because execute doesn't scale with like anything. It just does its damage. I don't think you can normally increase it with gear. I think attack power doesn't increase it. Weapon damage does not. I know that for sure. I don't know if attack power does, but I think it doesn't. So yeah, see, it's I mean, the tooltip reads flat damage plus rage conversion into damage. It doesn't say anything about a weapon. but you can't. You need a weapon to use it, but it doesn't modify off of it. So people use that in execute phase, which I'm gonna try next Sunken Temple. I may even do it in Omergon to see how it feels, just to like kind of get the practice of the weapon swapping a bit. Now, if you do this, you're missing out on Taste for Blood, which is some consistency and damage. It's kind of cringe. Playing arms without overpower, ugh. That might be too much cringe for me. Like, I think you can't do that. I think that's probably a mistake. You do this in the Fury build where you're just heroic striking to modify your auto attack. And I think people don't know why that's so powerful. When you turn your auto attack into a heroic strike, it gains the ability status and it puts 20% crit damage on your main hand auto attacks. That is what Impale does. That is why Impale is that good. Vigilance. Very good designed ability. It's very fun to utilize in lower skill raids where you're determining who is the problem, who's the peak performancing player. Take some of their threat, make them tankier. Very cool spell. Love this ability. It's a fantastic design. A tier. It's pretty good as tank. Get more threat. Warbringer. So this spell is very good in PvP. I actually haven't tested it. I don't know if you can use it during an ensnare. Like, can I intervene to like out of a Frost Nova? If you can do that, maybe I should give it a try. Pretty good spell. Now, I don't use it because this one's better. Hitting someone for 25% more damage, breaks shields with auto attacks, generates more rage. When you don't have buffs, you need to hit harder. You know, oh well, you have it's percentage. It means if you don't have your buffs, it should be worse. Yeah, it is worse because of that, but it's also more damage. This one, these two don't give. This one's pretty good. More rage when you bleed targets, but this requires a very long fight. In PvP right now, people do too much damage, so everyone's one-shotting everybody. It's kind of cringe. Shadow Priests are cringe. Nerf them, please. Thank you. All right, we've got Enraged Regen. I like this ability. I think it's a fantastic design. The slot that it's on makes it an option for playing solo. I don't use it when I'm solo, but it's pretty good. I think I will. I think I've been using Rally Cry, so I was using Victory Rush for healing and Rally Cry as a health potion. You know, this one is better. This is a better health potion, man. I'm gonna use this when I farm skeletons. So it's like a decent tank cooldown, but Rally Cry is still better because it's instant. This one is over time healing. It's not great for a tank cooldown. These are useless for tanking. PvP, it's probably the best one for like solo stuff. Like duels, you'd use this. This is for all PvP with other players. So it's a little bit worse than Intervene. Devastate. Another Wrath of the Lich King ability. Making Sunder armor deal damage, and more damage per Sunder on target. I guess a tank uses it, maybe. Not that cool. I don't even want to talk about it because it's just a wrath ability. I don't care. Consumed by Rage. You use this for Fury Warrior. This one's better for two-hander, so you use it for Fury. Very good. What did I say? I said powerful and well designed. And this is like less of that. Precise timing lets you use slam as arms. Sometimes it's fury, but if you're lazy, you don't need this. Alright, so now we're going to do the last thing, which we're going to do arms warrior S tier. More spells to cast. Very fun. Very good. Too many spells, actually. Too many spells to cast. That is weird. Prot warrior. Needs some help. All the prot talents are underwhelming. Only the warrior DPS runes are really like shining. This build is the build you use to tank because you need to have high threat, which means you need to do high damage. So you just do this build in defensive stance with the shield on, or dual wielding if you need more threat. So what the fuck is this talent tree for? Why do you have this talent tree? I don't know. If attack power gets high enough, it may go back to the old Fury Prot, which is Bloodthirst with Defiance. I think that's going to be the case. I think that will happen. We got Berserker stance, or Fury Warrior rather. S tier. It's OP as fuck. Press Heroic Strike with fast weapon offhand, or two same weapons speed. Very OP. I just don't have the weapons to play it. I want to play it. Very, very OP. And then overall, Warrior is S tier. Warrior is an S tier class. I didn't put the icon on it for your overall Warrior, but Warrior is probably the best class in the game right now. It's going to be better. It's got crazy scaling from the runes. It had crazy scaling in Classic. Compared to all the other classes. It's probably going to be the best class all of Classic overall. But, that being said, the way that these runes are, like, dude, 20% attack speed. What's another one? They're just handing us Wrath of Lich King abilities. Like, are they going to start giving us Cataclysm spells too? I wouldn't surprise me. It would not fucking surprise me. So, with that being said, any class could just randomly jump to the top of the DPS meter. Any class could just be overpowered. It could just be like a healer tank DPS, just like all three. Like they do something weird with the gear set in Molten Core. Anything is possible. Literally, just out of nowhere, any class can be the best.
Not enough rage.
But I'm gonna play Warrior. Next patch, I'm going to take the risk playing Warrior. I think Paladin is a safer bet. Paladin's going to be more consistent. But at the same time, they're going to nerf that Exorcism garbage, man. That shit's going away. So I don't know. Should I play Warrior or Paladin? But that's that. That's the tier list. I think I'm playing Warrior. That's it. See ya.